Alright, let me make sure everything here is working smoothly. Cool. Oh boy, I'm gonna be really busy today. I'm gonna try to get through everything quickly. There is a lot to go through, and I assume there's gonna be a lot. And I don't know if there's gonna be any battles, but we're gonna find out. So, for starters, I'm gonna go ahead and exit the game here. And let's go and open up this map to take a look at what's currently going on. There we go. So here's the current star map and the way it looks. So, as it is right now, um, not too much really going on over here in Lares. Over here in the Aquarius Vortex, you can see that there's definitely just more expansion going on and more factions moving around. So that's interesting. And most of the action is happening here in the Ironclaw Nebula, where there is active conflicts and expansions all around the place. Now, something that happened off camera in the last episode was that a new campaign started down here where MC and PDF are, and unfortunately, PDF is basically out of the game here. We could just remove that. And MC here, yeah, they no longer have access to Jeroen here, which basically is a huge problem for them. With their current forces that they have here, they're gonna struggle to basically try to take back everything that they have here. I guess we're gonna start with this little NPC here. Let's go ahead and grab this. This is Tostus right here. Okay, so there we go. Fleet has been made. And that could be a problem for MC over here. Now we're gonna start going through the actions of each faction. Most of these factions aren't really doing a lot this week, and that's okay. Either they're busy or they're just waiting for things. That's fine. But there is some interesting stuff going on. So let's see. We're gonna start with FNS here. They have not updated their actions this week. Yeah, they didn't update their actions, so we're not gonna do anything for them here. UNE, all the way over here. So their action is pretty much the same. I mean, it's basically what they've been trying to do for a while here. So, one, two, three. They're gonna be moving there, but they're not really landing. They keep going. So that's basically just UNE's actions for this week. IGI is up next, right over here. Let's see. I don't think, yeah, they didn't update their actions either. And now GDA, they did update their actions. So they have stuff that they're doing here. Um, GDA is basically moving their detection squadron here, and they're moving this to F4 here to Elysium. That basically is going to expand their territory here. Let's go ahead and move this right over there. And I'm also going to go ahead and give them that planet here. Alright, and now they are going to be doing some interesting things here. For a start, they're actually going to be transferring this planet here, Mila, to UASA, which is an interesting choice. One I definitely wasn't expecting. Alright, let's go ahead and make that go through. And they're going to be doing a bit of trading here, so let's see what they're doing. Since they traded the planet away, they basically don't have the ability to really buy anything. They don't have the resources for that. Yeah, they don't have the resources for any of what they wanted to do there. Did you want to register a ship real quick? So let me go ahead and do that real quick. This won't take too long. Alright, so that ship is now registered, and what else are they doing? They wanted to build one of those. They don't have any active shipyards around here, so that ship is going to be on the other side over here somewhere at their shipyard. Where's the nearest shipyard? Their nearest shipyard is all the way over there. So yeah, that's kind of far, but it's something. I'm gonna go and yoink one of the nearby fleets. I think I find was a number one. This one. There we go. They don't even have the resources to even make that ship, unfortunately. So yeah, that's unfortunate for them. A slight miscalculation on their part. Let's see. Up next we have MC over here. Their fleet 2 here is going to move to F8, so 1, 2, 3 over here. Fleet 1 is going to go to H10. So it's 1, 2, 3. So they're going to be taking this shipyard here. And then they're going to take their fleet Europe here to F4. And they're going to be taking their strike fleet to F4. So that is a battle right away. I'm going to go ahead and set that up real quick. Listen in the background, loading, so that way we can actually go into the battle here. So that is going to be a very big battle. Alright. Don't think I did the right one. Yeah, I did the right. Okay, cool. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and load this world in the background while we continue to look at things over here. There is a lot of movement here, and I'm not quite sure exactly how everything's going to go, but we're going to find out. Alright. Let's change the locations of all these. Okay, so that's everything that MC has done for now. We'll come back to that battle soon. Alright, so DRF has not updated their actions. UASA, all the way up here, what are they doing? Someone here is going to I-11, which is basically Drion here. That basically means this territory here is going to go down lower. And it says they're moving all other Swift fleets 3 tiles up. So basically all of these are going 3 up. As a result, they're basically going to take the highlands here. There we go. Let me go ahead and update where all the fleets are now. At least all the Swift fleets. Okay, then they're moving their fleet speed. Where are they moving that over to? Speed is moving to, I believe it's the fleet that's over here. So they're just moving it over here. Nothing too much really going on there. Now what they wanted to do was they wanted to use whatever operations they have to go ahead and upgrade this planet as much as they can. So let's see what the operations they have. It should be a relatively quick operation. Let's see what level the planet's actually at right now. There we go. Now UASA has upgraded that. And then from there, we can look at KLC, which is up next. Uh, they haven't updated this in a while, but they definitely have some stuff they want to do here. I guess I could just complete what they wanted to do. They wanted to move this fleet over here, and then make a shipyard on it. Alright, now we're looking at SBI, and SBI has a lot they wanted to do this week. So we're gonna jump down and see what exactly they're doing. Yeah, they have a lot they want to do. This is gonna be a lot. Okay, so they're gonna go ahead and do some trading here to go and get some additional resources. That is a lot. Let me actually see if these are updated properly. Hold on. Yeah, this is all updated properly, so they're just doing a whole lot of trading. Okay. Well, this is gonna be a lot. Oh boy, that's gonna be a lot. Okay, how do I even make this work? Okay, so I'm gonna do this, and what they want to do is they want to move one here and one over here. So that's another battle that's happening in the Venteri system. I'll set that up after the current battle that's down here. There's a lot of really big battles happening today. That's gonna be wild. Okay, is there anything else that they're doing here? Okay, and they're going to be doing the same thing again. Let's just grab this, throw it over here. And so they wanted to name their fleet, so we're going to throw that over there. They're moving it that way. And then from here, they're going to move in some other fleets. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. They're moving it here, which means that this territory is going to expand here. And they're going to be taking this planet, who knows? Now they're going to start moving these other fleets around here. So this one here, they're going to move in it to Avernus over here. Expand their territory further. Fleet 8 and 9 are moving to C4. So over here. And Fleet 1 over here is going to be going to E9. So here. Quite a few actions out and about here. I'm going to go ahead and update their fleet locations over here, because there's quite a few fleets that moved around. Yeah, I think that about covers everything the SBI is doing over here. Let's see, this faction is wiped out. SYC, all the way up here. I don't think they've updated their stuff. Yeah, they haven't updated their stuff in a while. IDO, they're continuing to go to the left, so 1, 2, 3, over there. And last but not least, we have FRM, which is going to be doing some actions of their own in response. So we're going to see what happens. Actually, no, FRM has not updated their stuff. So that is everything as it is. I'll go ahead and save this. That's going to save, and we're going to go ahead and watch these battles that unfold. Now, there is a really big battle over here. This is going to be massive, and I'm not sure how it's going to go, but let's see. This is gonna take a while. Now, since both of these fleets are the same, we're gonna just see what the outcome of this is. So let me double check here. We need the planet. This is spawned out over there. And we're gonna go and prepare this battle. This is a very big battle. I'll also open up the oh boy. Let me look at the stuff here. Also, just read the chat. This is going down here as well. Alright. This is gonna be one heck of a battle. Let me make sure this is accurate. Okay. This is probably gonna lag the game a lot. Let's see. To make things easier, I'm gonna go ahead and change the ownership of these specifically, if I can. Yep, everything. Of course, he hasn't set the target neutrals. Okay, so now that that's set up properly now, let's go ahead and go a decent distance away, maybe this far away over here. And it's going to take a moment. My game is going to lag significantly from doing this, so 3, 2, 1. That is exactly enough. Yep. That is 100. That is just one of the fleets. Not both of them, but just one of them. Technically, it's two separate battles, but since they're exactly the same, we're going to use this first one as a kind of a thing to measure how it will work. And what I'm going to do as a start here is I'm going to go ahead and get a spectator drone just to watch this fight. Let's set this all to be neutral here. Neutral. And we're going to go and observe this battle. This is going to be wild. That is a lot of fighters, and they're all just moving in like a wave. "100 fighters." Oh, that's gonna be chaotic. I'm gonna try my best to catch up to this massive wave. I'm gonna delete these. Just to make sure there's no interference in this battle here. There's already some battle here as missiles are flying out, going after all these fighters. We're already losing some. He has a lot of missiles. That is definitely gonna hurt. He's getting close enough to start doing some damage. Or at least try to. All those fighters are now moving away, trying to get away from the action there. Some of them are definitely getting hit. This thing is, I mean, it looks like if they get hit, they just detonate instantly. Both of these ships over here are taking heavy damage, but they're firing all the missiles that they can and get up close. Yeah, those fighters are taking heavy hits. Each of those shots just tears them apart. Those missiles are doing an insane amount of damage. Yeah, the front of that ship is already kind of just disappearing. See, this other one over here is taking a massive hit, and it's trying to get closer. Some fighters left. I can't tell if that ship is wiped out or not. It might be. That's for the rest of this. It looks like most of this fighter fleet's been completely eliminated. I mean, there's still that firing away over there. Just trying to aim for that one right there. Alright, let's exit this and let's go ahead and take a look at these ships here. Is this ship eliminated? It doesn't even have power. Yeah, it's basically cooked. All of its power is gone. Yeah, there's no power on this grid. It's basically floating away forever, which means that it's basically eliminated if it cannot return back to the battle. So that's one kill. This other ship over here. Still firing away with whatever it's got. They're trying to fire at this. Yes, it is. Not the most successful, but it's trying. Seems like those cannons struggle against like really small grids. Unless they're going in a straight line towards it. Interesting. Other than that, it seems like the rest of this fight here is basically finished. There's nothing else firing back at that ship over there. Let's go ahead and just remove all the debris here. Okay, let's see. All these small grids here. Definitely still some ships alive. Those will return to the battle pretty soon. Yeah, having turrets set to target neutrals is a little bit annoying. Alright, let's see, spectator drone, I can remove that. My spectator drone got completely cooked. But whatever fighters are left are returning back to the battle to go ahead and take on that ship there. If they can take it out, that is. And some of these are just flying away from the battle. Yeah, they're all just returning to the fight here. And they're still doing damage. From multiple sides, actually. Fighters can definitely do a lot. Definitely looks like this ship is trying to get a bit closer to do a bit of a broadside there. Though it is rapidly losing turrets and thrusters. He's rapidly running out of fighters here. Seems like there's just 3 left. Most of them seems to have lost most of their weapons, or have taken some kind of damage that prevents them from returning to the battle effectively. That one's kind of just drifting away there. Some of them have completely lost their firepower. There's like barely any that can actually do anything right now. All these fighters are kind of just like little dots in the distance. All they can do is kind of just orbit right now. Yeah, the power is out. Neat. Alright, so that is a, a victory right there. That was interesting. And there were basically just 4 ships survived that fight there, out of the 100 that were there. That was incredible. Alright, so now I'm gonna go ahead and type in, let's see. So, on the map here, that makes this a victory, which means that now, over here, that shipyard has been captured. There we go. That was a lot. That was a lot. Okay. So now that that's all dealt with, there's the next battle we gotta set up. And the next battle is the battle that's up here. 2 battles, technically. So it's gonna be between this one and that one. Okay, let's remove all these. I gotta edit the mod list real quick to go and add the other planet. That's gonna be that one and that one. Let's remove that, and then there was another planet mod in here. That one. Okay. That's one, and what's the other one? Lynette, okay. This will take a moment to load, and then we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what this battle's gonna be. So, looking at the fleets here, let's see. Okay, so that's gonna be interesting, and that's a big battle. Alright, and we're gonna see how well this goes. Okay, so there's two battles here. The first one we're gonna do is here on Raxum, so let's go and spawn that in. Right over there should be fine. And I'm gonna go ahead and see if both of the ships can fly. So let's see. I know one of them can fly in atmosphere, the other one we're gonna check. It might be able to. Actually, no, it's ion only. So it's basically gonna be an orbital fight, looks like. So yeah, let's double check this. And that's down the skid a good distance away. Look all over here. This seems like a good distance. And we're gonna go and spawn the other fleet. So technically speaking, to save time, what I can do is I can do... Well, actually no, it's because of the planet, so... Yeah, because it's a different location, it'll be two different battles. Okay. One of these fleets is... Yeah, that is a lot. There we go. Gonna spawn one of these over here. And we're going to go ahead and observe this battle. This could go either way, I'm not sure. I mean, FRM is severely outnumbered, for sure. But it's kind of an interesting thing, though, because FRM's small ships might do... I don't know, they're faster. So it's kind of a maneuverability versus numbers kind of thing here. Besides, these ships here are using these energy-type weapons, which will be very interesting to see in combat. I'm unsure which fleet here will actually do better. Although just watching this armada here is actually just fantastic. That's worthy of a screenshot right there. Alright. What happened to the other ships? Probably chasing debris. Oh. They basically stopped and now they're flying away. You just see that ship just slowly approaching. Ooh, that was a direct hit. That's a lot of damage. I don't think any of these ships took any damage, so I might just bring them over to the next fight. That was pretty straightforward. Let's pause this here and let's take a look here. Yeah, Fleet 6 got obliterated. I'm going to update this. Okay, so there's that. Then we're gonna look at this other battle over here, which is a lot more ships over a different planet. Okay, and this one here. Let's check what the gravity is like here. Alright. Yeah, this will probably still be a space battle considering they're still using ions. So there's a lot. Okay, let's go ahead and spawn this in. Yeah, that should be about right. Now we can go back to the spectator drone, wherever I left that. Here it is. And this will be the second battle. Technically a third battle of the video. We definitely did have some battles here. Now this whole wave of ships is just going to move forward. And this fleet looks amazing already. I think I can see the ships I'll do over there. Yeah, here they come. Yeah, just put the two together there. Let's see what happens. Just waiting for them to get just a little bit closer, just to increase the chances of hitting the target. Yep, here you go. trying to get closer. You can see some of them are getting hit really hard there. I might get within the weapons range. Yep, there they go. Weapons range. Yeah, they didn't really do much. I think it's safe to say that SVI has won this round here. Yeah, all these have basically just been reduced to atoms here. None of these really took any serious damage, if any at all. It's like minor external damage. Alright, let me clean everything up here. Go next to the game here, and we can go ahead and update this. So yeah, basically that's both of these fleets taken out. And that means that this shipyard here has officially been conquered. Let's see. I'll technically count that as like two different battles. 'Cause technically there were two fleets there. So yeah, let's see. Okay, so that should be that. Let me double check some things here. Alright. Alright, and of course, looks like this faction of yours, for all this new faction here, is kind of surrendered. So that means these two can be reobtained here or reabsorbed. let's see here. Planets. I gotta go over to the Novana system. Here it is. There we go. So there's that. Um, all right. So now looking at the overview here. In the Larry's cluster, nothing's really happening over here. Over here in the Aquarius vortex, UASA is basically just getting some stuff from GDA, but it seems like GDA kind of sold out their own economy, so they were kind of struggling to afford some things. But UASA is basically expand upwards. KLC is basically just built a little extension there. Most of the UASA forces are just running upwards here, and you also have the UNE colony ship over here also moving upwards. Over here in the Iron Claw Nebula, there's an interesting bunch of stuff going on here. I mean, there's an SBI fleet here that's moving to the left, most likely going over here towards either this gateway or going to either of these planets. Who knows? Looking over here, yeah, the speed fleet is moving to the right. Over here, SBI has successfully fended off the majority of these FRM forces, so these FRM forces here are kind of not doing too well. Their shipyard has been taken out. My SBI seems more than capable of defending themselves, as we've seen, so that's actually pretty impressive. What else? I mean, SBI has definitely done a lot of expansion down here. The Telos system and the SETI system, they're definitely taking more territory. And of course, MC, they've gotten their economy back, which means that they are now more than capable of fending for themselves here. And that's actually going to be pretty good for them. You know, just drag some of these around, make it a little bit easier to see which faction is which. There we go. All right. I think that is about it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the battles. That was actually really cool to see. Definitely probably one of the first proper battles we've seen so far in the series. At least ones where they have like lots of like actual ships and stuff going into combat. So yeah, that was actually pretty good. But yeah, until then, I'll see you guys next week.